Toronto, actually. Yeah, okay, I'm happy to be alive right now. Because right before we took off, the pilot got on the intercom system and he was like, "Welcome to Delta Airlines, man. Everything's gonna be alright." In my head, I was just like, "Oh, great, this is how I die." Because listen, turns out in my mind, Jamaican way too laid back an accent to be flying a plane full of people. You know, like there's nothing about a Jamaican accent that says I'm definitely going to remember to put the landing gear down. And just to be clear, it's an accent thing, not a race thing. I was worried too. Turns out I'm just an accentist. Because I thought about it and I would have been just as scared if the pilot had gotten on the intercom system and he was like, "Top of the morning to you laddies." I would have been like, "I hope this is one of them planes you have to start with a breathalyzer." Right? Because there's just some accents that don't fit the job, you know? Like you'd hate it if you took your kids to Disneyland and the person running the Disneyland Railroad was like, "Welcome to the most wonderful place in the world. Show me your papers, please." I feel like I'm not falling for that again. I'm not falling for that. I am happy to be here, mostly because my wife and I just moved into our first house. Yeah, thank you. So if you're wondering how my comedy career is going, I'm funny enough to be married to a woman who can afford a house. I'm supposed to be at home unpacking right now. I hate unpacking. I had to find a show to watch while I was doing it, so I started watching that show, Naked and Afraid. All right, got a room full of fans. I love that show. My wife hates that I watch that show, though. She's always just like, "You just watch that for the naked people." And I'm always like, "Honey, it's so much more. They are also afraid." I don't know. I feel like all she'd have to do to not be angry at me, though, for watching that show is just sit down and watch an episode with me. Because it turns out most of the people on Naked and Afraid are not the kind of people you want to see naked. You know, like it turns out not too many supermodels dabble as survival experts. You know, George Clooney never had to forage for his own food. First thing I did when I started watching that show was Google which episode do they bang on. Turns out 18 seasons hasn't happened once. So the contestants agree with me. I don't know, I'm still holding out hope though. Every new episode I'm just like, I think it's gonna happen. And then every time they're just like, "Yeah, let's go get water and survive." But being honest, it's not about the nudity for me though. Especially because Disney Plus does this really interesting thing where they don't blur the butts, they only blur the bits. So it's created this fun little subplot for me I like to call "What's Beneath the Blur." Right? Because like sometimes you'll see a guy from behind, no butt blur, and just a little blur dangling out between his legs. And you're just like, good for Steve. Just him and a hog out there in the Mojave building a lean-to. You know, sometimes though there's a plot twist and you'll see a woman from behind, same thing, no butt blur, little blur dangling out between the legs. And you're just like, what's going on there, Jess? I guess watch out for thorns. I feel like everyone in here can probably remember the first time they saw a naked person. I remember my first naked lady. My parents were in the other room, and they were watching Silence of the Lambs. I was like 6 years old, snuck in, saw a naked lady dancing around all seductively. Then like a decade later, I actually saw Silence of the Lambs. And some of you are ahead of me right now. and it turned out what I had, and then dancing around in front of a mirror going, would you do me? Because I do me. I don't know, sometimes I think back on that moment in my life and just go, you know what? I turned out okay, all things considered. You know, right? Because that's the age when fetishes form. It could have been so much worse. You know, I could have been like, I'm sorry, honey, but the only way I can get excited is if you pretend that Anthony Hopkins has left you an elaborate set of clues to the bedroom. No one told me when you buy a new house that your name goes on some list and just solicitors show up at your door every day. So like every day someone's showing up at my door like, hey, are you happy with your home security? And I'm just like, nope, not today, I'm not. I hate being a dick to those guys though, because like I perform for a living too, so I feel like that's bad karma. So like I want them to leave, but I want them to feel like it was their choice to leave. So what I've started doing is just acting way more excited about whatever they're selling than they are. You know, so they show up at my door like, did you know Kim Jurgensen's running for mayor? And I'll just be like, Kim Jurgensen's running for mayor? No way, now I want to run for mayor. Tell her I'll vote for her if she votes for me. Best is when like a Jehovah's Witness shows up at your door because they've never seen an excited person before in their life, right? And I was just like, yeah, I'll believe in your Lord and Savior. Do you want to believe in mine? He's got 7 legs and lives inside a pomegranate. I think you're going to dig him. Oh no, you're not going to stay for my spiel? This weird thing happened when I bought a house. I've been anti-gun my whole life, and now I kind of want to buy a gun. I don't know where that came from. Got an anti-gun my whole life, and now I'm just like, oh, I get it now. I have to protect my land from my enemies. Right? Because like if someone breaks into my house, what am I going to do? Scare them off with all these muscles? Now I definitely need a gun. I don't know, man. It's a difficult subject though, right? Because everyone's got an opinion on it. It's a hard thing to get to the center of. You know, because like you'll turn on NBC News and they'll just be like, well, statistically, you're more likely to hurt yourself with a gun than you are an intruder. And it's just like, okay, no gun. Then you turn on Fox News and they're like, coming up at 5 p.m., get a gun, pussy. And it's just like, they're both making good points now, right? Here's the thing though. Buying the house took all the money we had, so it's not like I have anything nice in my house. Like the nicest thing in my house right now is my parents' Netflix password. You know, so I feel like what I'd really be protecting myself against is someone who's broken into my house and is now just super pissed that they can't find anything nice to steal. You know, what do you want me to be like? Put the Kirkland signature down. And no one gets hurt. We moved from Boston to Los Angeles. That's a weird move. You hear some things in Los Angeles you don't hear in any other city. Like the other day, one of my friends there was like, that guy can sing, act, and dance. He's a real triple threat. And I was just like, I'm sorry. Those are the 3 least threatening skills I can think of. Like, thank God that guy can't knit too, or we'd all be in trouble, huh? I don't know, because singing, acting, dancing, for sure talents, but there's nothing threatening about them, right? You know, like, when Trump is talking about immigration, he's never like, Mexican gangs are pouring over the borders. They're starting community theaters. Kids as young as 10 doing flawless pirouettes. You should see these pirouettes, they're so flawless. And don't even get me started on their beautiful, beautiful voices, people. Some real bad hombres. I don't know, right? Like when I think of threatening, I think of like a UFC fighter. And I'd love to see one of them come into the ring just to like, and now fighting out of the red corner, he's a mixed martial arts. Going with that guy. I mean, can you imagine trying to get away with that shit in any other city? Like, do you have any idea how much more I would have got the shit beat out of me growing up if I had started walking up to people in Boston just going, I can sing, act, and dance. I'm a real triple threat. Like, I don't know that that would have been any match for the Boston triple threat at the time, which was kicking me, punching me, and calling me wicked fucking gay. Still adjusting to LA. I'm always worried that I smell bad here because all my friends only have all natural products in their bathrooms. And I'm always just walking out like, nope, get soap. Because you guys, it turns out that chemicals are the part of soap that makes soap. Soap. You know, like, have you ever smelt a friend that switched to all natural deodorant before? It's like, hey, what's that new scent you're wearing? Why bother? You know, they're always super smug about it too. They're always just like, bet you guys couldn't tell. It's like, no, actually, it's all we've been talking about all week. You smell a little bit like lavender and a lot of it like body odor. I don't always have the most popular opinions here in California, but I'm going to let you guys in on my most unpopular opinion here, and that's that I hate avocado. See? Yeah, more for you. And $3 in my pocket every time I go to Chipotle. But do you have any idea how hard that is to admit to a room full of Californians? Like, it's got to be easier to come out to Southern Baptist parents than it is to tell Californians you don't like avocado. There's always stupid follow-up questions, too. Like every time they're like, not even guacamole? It's like, oh, you mean mashed up avocado? No. You know, like you wouldn't do that with any other food, right? Like if I told you I didn't like chicken, you wouldn't be like, well, if you tried putting it in a blender. I was just in Toronto, was doing a tour down the East Coast. That's how I learned that once you get to like, I was doing it with a comedian friend of mine. So I learned that once you get to like South Carolina, two dudes traveling with each other starts to look mighty suspicious to the locals. Like we had to stop in all these small towns, stay at these little motels. Every time we did, motel manager would do the same thing. He'd just look us both up and down and go, one bed or two? And I was just like, shit, that is the nicest way anyone has ever told me I look gay before. Like, there's that Southern hospitality I've been hearing so much about. You know, but every small town we stopped in, same thing, just one bed or two. I finally got fed up with it, and I was like, two? Because one's for sleeping, and one's for fucking. I was lucky to make it to San Diego alive. All right, guys, I've been Alex Malt. Thank you very much.